Hi, welcome back to our series on Wellness Drops, exploring mental health and the 8 dimensions of wellness. Now I will start talking about in detail with regards to each of the pillars of the physical wellness. Now, the 4 pillars are preemptive, proactive, restraint, and habitual. Now, the first pillar is preemptive. What does the word preemptive mean? Preemptive is something which you feel is going to happen to you, and then you decide to go and take an action so that you are able to get the results and you are kind of okay with what you have done. It's basically that you have got some premonition, something is going to happen, you're not feeling well, so you need to do some things to ensure that you're able to avoid the situation, right? That is called being preemptive. Now, preemptive has 3 main aspects on which this pillar stands. What are they? The first is regular checkup. The next is medical insurance. This is, I think, very, very clear. And the third one is ergonomic habits. You will have to see what is going to work for you, but there's certain basic rules which everyone needs to follow, whether I tell it or I don't tell it. For example, posture. When you're sitting and watching TV or reading a book lying down, people do it, hundreds of them do it. But is it good? Decide for yourself. We don't need to preach to people, but it's just that we are putting these points in front of you so that you take care of these points, and that will be a guidelines which will help you achieve your physical wellness. What all you would need to do from today onwards to ensure that you take care of this aspect and to take care of the entire pillar, this pillar of physical wellness. Take care of those aspects, and I'll be back with you soon. Now I'm going to be talking about the next pillar of the physical dimension of wellness. It is proactive. Being proactive is taking the situation in hand, in control, and then doing something about it. And let me tell you, maybe I don't have any symptoms of any illness, but I just want to do it for myself so that I am able to rule out any concerns or problems which may occur in the future. And here I haven't got any body signals, mind you. There's a difference between being proactive and preemptive. The first aspect of this pillar, I'll start off by talking about exercise. The other aspect of proactive is nutrition. Extremely important role which it plays in current times. So it's very important that we take care of these aspects, and there could be many other related aspects, but after years of research we came up with these aspects on these pillars which will act as guidelines to enable us achieve this pillar completely in totality. And last but not the least point under proactive is weight management. Enjoy a healthy life, my friend. And if we do not take care of certain basic rules or unwritten rules with regards to our body, trust me, it's not going to work, and we will not be able to achieve physical wellness. And as they say, health is wealth. It sure is. Money cannot buy my health, but at least it will help me to take care of my health in the future. That's why I keep saying, don't be reactive, be proactive. Do it even when you don't have a problem, so that you can avoid the problem to the best level that you can do. I hope I'm clear on these 3 aspects as to how these 3 aspects are very critical, how you have to be proactive. I'll repeat it very, very emphatically every time. That do this proactively. On that note, I will leave you thinking how proactive you are, and I'll come back again to discuss the next pillar in the physical wellness. Until then, take care. Hi, now that we have discussed the 2 pillars in the physical dimension of wellness, that is preemptive and proactive, let us move on to the 3rd pillar, and that is restraint. What is restraint? It is basically control. Control of what? Excess situations. When we talk about tobacco restraint, we are all aware about the consequences of using or taking tobacco. So we'll come now to the next aspect under this pillar of restraint, alcohol. So listen to your health. Listen to your physical body, listen to your doctor. They are the best judges and the yardsticks to measure your state of good health. And the third very important aspect is we're talking about avoiding fat and cholesterol. And you have to give the right kind of nutrition, the right kind of inputs into your body in order to keep it active and going. And the current status of your health will define what you need to do in the future. So, I'll repeat again, we have done 3 aspects under restraint. We talked about tobacco restraint, we talk about alcohol restraint, we talk about restraint on fat and cholesterol. Think about these aspects which I just shared with you, and I'll come back again to discuss the last pillar in the physical dimension of wellness. Hi. Now that we have discussed the 3 pillars in the physical dimension of wellness, let us move on to the last pillar. The last pillar is habitual. It stems from the word habit. What is a habit? Any action that we perform for the first time till it becomes a habit. It can be a challenge. Any habit, whether it's eating, drinking, getting up in the morning, or doing any kind of non-routine activity or a new activity for the first time, is not easy to implement. But when we know that that habit is going to help us in the long run in any form, then we will get down to actually doing it every day diligently and consistently till it becomes a habit. Is this pillar which is called habitual, and it has 3 aspects. What are they? The first aspect is consistent schedule. We come to the next aspect of this pillar of habitual, which is adequate sleep. And then we move on to the last aspect in this pillar, which is obey rules. Just think about this. How many times do we give excuses for ourselves for not doing something which is directly going to affect our health? Think about it. We all do it. As I repeat again, if you do it once in a way, it's perfectly all right. But repeated destructive habits is not going to lead us anywhere. On that note, think about what all we discussed in the 4 pillars in dimensions of wellness, which is a physical wellness. We talked about preemptive, proactive, restraint, and habitual. And think about all those aspects. Just give thought on that and see where you stand. We'll be back with more. Do subscribe to our series on Wellness Drops.